It just, whatever little thing we had, I never did have a doll.
Didn't?
And so I made me some after I got big.
Oh.
She used a cat for a doll.
Cabbage Patch dolls.
You used cats for your dolls.
Yeah,
Lots of cats.
I'd have to wear my hood every time I go outdoors when I was little.
Mm.
I'd wear it outdoors, and as soon as I got out there, I had a favorite cat. And I took my hood off and put my cat in the hood, took care of my cat.
Oh, yes.
I heard that story.
What,
We sure didn't have much. But my folks was as honest as the days was long. That's probably why we didn't have it.
did you move a lot? Did you move to a lot of different houses and farms?
Yeah, the worst old farms my dad could find
Oh, boy.
was.
How did you move? How did you pack everything up and move?
With wagon and the horses.
Horses, yeah.
Yes, we did. Yeah, we had a lot of old farmhouses, and I had to get out and work in the field a lot of times.
Yeah. Did you ever have to cut any wood?
Yep.
She knows how.
She tells me all the
She
time.
promises
She's gonna
him
help
all the
me.
time,
She
you
tells me
tell
she's gonna come out and cut wood with me.
But,
Are you gonna help me this winter?
huh?
Are you gonna help me cut wood this winter?
I'd like to.
Yeah.
I'd like to.
David, had she told you the story about when they lived down here on the highway, across from where that park is?
Yeah, I knew the house. I knew
There's an old house that was back there, and they
the
lived
barn.
there a while.
Mhm,
Did
yeah.
she tell you about that?
I don't think so. Tell us about that house across from Roadside Park. You lived out there by the Roadside Park.
Well, that was about as good a house as any we lived in, and it wasn't much.
It wasn't? What happened there? Do you have any memories of that place?
Huh?
You have any memories of that place? What happened there?
I don't know. What did I tell you?
You would be out in the yard, and when the bread truck goes by,
Oh, yeah.
Tell us about that.
The bread truck, I guess it's Wonder Bread, I don't remember, but anyway, we didn't know what a boughten loaf of bread was. My mother made bread, but we didn't have no boughten bread. And that truck would come over the hill too fast, and he had a great big box of bread on top, and one of them fell off. And so we had boughten light bread for a while.
That's good. That's good.
Did you like it?
Huh?
Did you like the bought
Oh,
bread?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was sure a treat when we'd go home from school and my mother had made bread. And of course, she'd make bread and part of the dough was cinnamon rolls. She'd make cinnamon rolls.
What was your favorite meal that your mother made? Just the family meal. What was your favorite meal?
Oh, honey, I don't remember. We wasn't particular. We just, as kids, would eat whatever we had.
Did you eat chicken? You go butcher a lot of chicken and eat chicken?
Yeah, we raised them and had chicken. And we butchered beef, but or hogs, but I don't think we ever butchered any cats.
Squirrel and rabbits?
Yeah, and a lot of eggs. We had eggs. But them times it's really, really hard. But we didn't seem like we wanted for anything. My mother never complained. She wasn't like me.
Yeah, like you complain a lot.
Yeah.
I never heard you complain.
I sure complaining, I imagine. My mother sure didn't complain. She didn't hardly get to go anywhere. She never did have electricity.
So in those 9 kids, where did you fall? Start with the oldest and go all the way through the youngest. Who were they?
Well, Clyde, my brother was the oldest. Then I had a sister. Then I had another sister. And then I had another sister.
What's their names?
And then this is me.
That's you. You're number 5. What was those sisters' names? Go ahead.
This was Myrtle, and it's her daughter that lives at Maryville.
Shirley?
She got killed in a car wreck, my sister did.
Myrtle
There was Lillian, she had cancer. Gertie, I think she had cancer. And then there was me.
Okay.
And then besides me, there was a little boy that passed away because he had pneumonia. And then we had Wayne and Marvin and Rosalie. And we still got Rosalie.
Tell them about your visit. Didn't you see Rosalie the other day?
Yeah.
How was that? Was that a good visit?
Well, hon, we've been there and we just chattered and all this and we could, before lunch. Then she went with me to lunch and Eldon took the rest of them out to lunch, Eldon and Junie. And she ate her lunch and we visited. She acted all right, but she didn't have a lot to say. And finally, me and her were just sitting in there. We was waiting on them to come back. And she said, "Oh, Stanbury." She said, "I've got a little sister that lives in Stanbury, and her name's Mabel Long. Did I know her?" And they're all that time.
Now, is she the youngest?
Yes.
Yes,
She's the youngest.
she's 10 years younger than I am.
The only two left.
Huh?
The only two left. At all
Did you
mine.
tell her you knew her?
Huh?
Did you tell her you knew her?
Well, yeah, I told her then who I was, but the expression on her face, she didn't act like she really knew what I was telling her.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether she did or not.
Interesting.
But her son and daughter brought her over, and when they was leaving, I walked out with them. And the son told me, he said, "She won't remember none of this as soon as we get out." She said she'll just forget it right away.
Debbie asked you a question the other day, and I had never heard this story. Why don't you tell everybody how you met Grandpa?
How I met,
Well, that was you. That was you. You told Diana that. You said that you wanted to go to a music gathering.
How'd you meet Grandpa George?
well, one of my sisters, it was Halloween,
Okay.
and we went there. Some of them stayed outside and decorated or made things outside so it'd make noise.
Oh,
It wasn't Christmas decorations like that. It was something to make noise.
okay.
And we went. Oh, I don't know how many of us there was, but anyway, George happened to be one of them.
But you didn't know him before then?
No, well, yeah, I did. I know who he was because he was a cousin to my sister.
Oh.
Your sister's husband.
Lily's husband.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so where was this at? Was this in Darlington, or where was this
No,
at?
we were
Gentry?
right here in
It was
Stanbury.
in Gentry, yeah.
And the house is still there, and Debbie's friends live in that house.
Who is it?
Churches live.
Where the who?
Oh, where Taylor and Tina are.
Okay, okay.
That's the house, yeah.
All right, so you went to that house. Go ahead.
Anyway, we went there, and my brother, he went to dances. My dad wouldn't let us go to dances. No.
So was this a dance you went to?
Huh?
Was this a dance you went to? Was this event and a dance? Was it a dance?
Well, they ended up a dancing. They
Did
rolled
you?
up the rugs
Yes.
and went dancing. And Dad found out about it.
Oh.
And we didn't get to have no more music. Because see, we was having music at each other's homes,
Okay.
but no dancing. But my brother, he liked to dance, and so,
Which brother? Wayne?
no, Clyde.
Clyde.
And so they went to dancing, and we told Dad about it, of course, later, and so we didn't have no more music at home.
Oh.
Didn't have no more.
Okay, so what? Get us the nitty gritty. So you met Grandpa at this get gathering.
Yeah, after they decided to dance, they needed another player. And George,
Music players to play music.
no, yeah,
Okay.
and George was gonna go get another guy, and he asked me to go along.
Oh.
And I went along, and then we just started to go together after that.
Who was the music player you went to get? Do you remember who the music player was you went to get?
Oh, I don't think I can tell you.
I just wondered how far away you had to go.
Oh, just there in town. Just there in town.
Mom, didn't you go with Welby before Dad?
Yeah.
That's Grandpa's brother.
Ah.
Boy, you married his brother.
I was trying to get along, I guess.
Brittany's here.
Thanks.
Hi. That's for you.
Sean's here too.
How you doing?
Good, how about you?
Oh, I'm doing okay too.
Just okay, got some cake, you should be doing real good.
We've got some friends here. This is Brittany, this is Denise and Steve's daughter. She's a school teacher down in Savannah. And this is her fiance, Sean. He works for the Federal Reserve in Kansas City. This is our friend Virginia from Texas, and this is her husband, Lon. My nephew, Greg, you've met Francis maybe. Okay, Francis' son, Greg, and that's his two kids. I think you know everybody.
Pam.
Oh, Pam, I'm sorry, yeah, that's Francis' daughter, Pam. Okay. They still want to have me.
Oh, I know lots of this. Do they all know, you know, she has some diaries, and she's been reading some diaries. And sometimes they come in and she'll have a particular story about, most of this is later, most of this is after she's been married and had the kids. But she tells Debbie stuff all the time that I've never heard.
He fits it in.
Ask her what she liked about Grandpa.
All right, I have a couple more questions, Grandma. Hey, Grandma, got a couple more questions. We got a couple more questions we want to know. Are you ready? Okay. What did you like about Grandpa? You went for a ride with him, and you were dating his brother, and then you changed to him. Why did you do
It
that?
wasn't that soon. We had already broke up.
Yeah. But what did you like about Grandpa? Was he a nice feller?
Yes.
What else? Tell us about it.
Couldn't beat him.
Couldn't be.
He was good and he was honest.
Yes.
And my folks was honest as they could be, but they sure didn't have anything. So we started out the hard way.
So how old were you when you married?
Oh, not very old. I don't remember, about 18 probably. But I was older than any of my sisters that got married. They was all married ahead of me, but Rosalie, of course, wasn't.
First place you and Grandpa lived, where was that?
Where did we live?
The first place.
We lived in the house there in Stanberry. Oh, did you know where Miss Evelyn Ezel lived? We just lived across the road from her.
Yeah, no.
Ice is over there in that blue ice chest.
Thank you.
Nice, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Elvin, do you know where that house is? I'm trying to think
Huh?
where that house is.
Didn't we just do a story on that?
It's still there.
Where is it?
I know.
Little George Mester used to live in it. I kind of think they still do.
Who? Louis George?
I think.
Okay. And that was the house you lived in, or that was across the house? That's up on Maple Street. That's the house you lived in, or that's the house Mrs.
Yeah.
It's up far north end of town, east. It's Maple Street, the last street that goes, and it's a little green house. The rest of them were all built in the 60s, and this house is probably 100 years old. It's the only house up there.
We used to heat with wood.
Yeah.
I'd be out and help get wood too, first thing in the store. Now they don't much, but I helped when I could.
Tell the story of that time you and Lily went to cut wood. The men were doing something else, and you guys went to cut wood and filled a whole wagon. Remember that story you told me?
Oh, yeah. Well, then after we got the house built,
Thank you, honey.
we had electric heat. And we didn't have to get out and get wood anymore.
No.
But our neighbors that lived at Lansing, he was sick and he couldn't do much. So George had a chainsaw, he had to pick up, and we'd go get them right on the place where we live, David.
What's that?
We got the wood right on the place where you live.
Yeah.
She thinks it should be done real early.
We got them enough wood to last them all winter. But us women, she helped me, and we both loaded the trucks. You can always do something to help if you try.
I don't remember where you and I were going here a while back, but we were going over by, it's been since I moved back. We were going over by Gentry. We passed Gentry, and we were going up 169, and you pointed up and showed me up in them hills, you and somebody picked something or did something. Raspberries,
Pears, wasn't it?
pears,
Yeah.
what was it?
Vivian Messner,
Yeah, what was it you picked?
strawberries probably, no.
Was
It
it pears?
was raspberries or dewberries or something like that.
Wild.
Yeah, there's wild, it was all over that hill, you said.
Well, we got to get out and get all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, it's there by you.
Oh, okay.
Up there on the hill where the wood place is.
I knew there was some pear tree.
He's videotaping. What else you want to tell us? We got lots to learn.
Oh, no, you're not.
Yes, we do.
You got everything to do with it. And you don't know how to appreciate it because
Okay.
we didn't have it.
Nope, you didn't.
Tell us some honoring stories on your children.
Oh,
What kind of honoriness did they get into?
all I can tell you about my children is honest as can be. They couldn't have been any better kids.
And
Nobody else could have any better kids.
I know there's not
Yes.
any story on her, but he locked you into the outhouse that time. Tell us that. That's a story we need to hear. What happened?
Not Elda.
Yeah, we need to hear about that. What happened?
Okay, now I'll tell you about that.
Okay.
It was a smokehouse.
Oh, that's all right.
And
A lot of difference.
I had little chickens out there.
Mhm.
And anyway, I went out to see about them, and I had part of the supper on the stove, I want you to know, because I intend to go right back and get it. Eldon come up and brought me some milk, and when he went out of the smokehouse, he locked me in there, because I couldn't get out. And I hollered and pounded on the door, because I was afraid my supper would burn. And when he come up to let me out, I said, you better run, because I better not get a hold of you. I was mad at him because he locked me in there. But the supper didn't burn.
It is murder.
Oh, that's good.
That's it. So, did Frances do any honoring things? She was perfect, wasn't she?
I didn't do nothing mean.
She's afraid of chickens.
Oh, she's afraid of chickens.
Afraid of the chickens.
Did an old rooster ever flog her?
Yes.
Some of them would fight.
Well, an old rooster flogged him one time, Steve.
Did it?
You remember that? Grandma Miller's, do you remember that? Knocked him down, I mean, flogged him and made him bleed.
Really?
What does flogged mean?
Flogged,
You know, they get with their claws.
claws and the beak, and he was bleeding all over. That old
They
rooster.
scare.
But anyway, he deserved it. But anyway, go ahead. What else? What about your kids? We're born in June and October, so the weather wasn't bad. No. Did you have them both at home?
Huh?
You had them both at home? Tell us that experience.
Not much to tell. I can tell you the price.
Okay.
When we had Francis,
Yeah.
the doctor would come to our house out in the country,
Yep.
$15.
You're cheap. $15. And then give him a chicken to boot.
And then 5 years later, when
Yeah.
we had Eldon, he
Uh-huh.
come in town, we were living in town then,
Uh-huh.
it's $20.
$20. Inflation. Wow. Did you have an attendant or a nursemaid or anything? Did you have an attendant or a nursemaid or just the doctor came out? Did anybody help you? Midwife, nurse,
Yeah, nurse.
anything?
I think my sister was there. And George's mother was there the first time. That's it.
No drugs?
What else? What do we need to know? We'd like to learn. We'd like to learn about your life.
Are you really?
Other than not having anything and being honest, what else do you need to tell us? I know you can't hear
Is
me.
that right?
Besides being honest and not having anything, what else do you want your grandkids to know about your life?
I don't know.
Have you enjoyed your life? Have you had a good life?
Yes.
Have you been blessed?
Yes, it was, I wouldn't trade it for anything. We worked hard. That was just part of life. I wanted to work. But I did finally work at Place's store.
Yep.
I just done that to see if I could do something besides dusting and cleaning at home. And George said he didn't care if I went down there and went to work. So I went down there and applied for a job and got it. 80 cents an hour. And I mean, I worked.
And you
She
were?
dusted and cleaned there too.
Yes. But how old were you? What year was that?
What year was that?
She was very young. How old were
You
you?
dusted there and cleaned in there.
Oh, yeah.
How old were you?
We were
when
just
you went to
kids.
work there? How old were you when you went to work at Places?
What year was
I
it?
don't know.
Well, Enid Funderburg told me the other day, was she working there before you got there or after? Enid Funderburg. Was she working there before?
Yeah, I worked first, and then he didn't come.
Okay, because she said that was in the, I mean, was it in the 70s?
I don't know. I've got it wrote down in my diary, but I kind of forget dates.
Imagine Mom was in her 50s anyway. That's about when you learned how to drive.
Yeah, I had to learn how to drive before I went to work.
She tell you that when she went to get her driver's license?
No.
And I didn't want anybody to know that I was going to take the driving test. And we went down to Francis. Eldon was with us. Eldon might have took us. But anyway, we went down to her house to that day. And I said something to Eldon about it because I thought maybe he could help me to give me some pointers. But I didn't want nobody else to know it. And anyway, I had a book to learn some of the things about driving. They give me a book when I went and applied to take the test. Okay, me and Eldon went out on the front porch at Francis, and Eldon would read some of them questions off to me. Part of them I could answer, and part of them I couldn't. He said, "Mom, when are you going to take that test?" I said, "Tomorrow." He said, "You better study."
Before she went to work down there, though, she used to always help Dad shuck corn by hand.
Yes, I shook corn.
And they'd try to get the corn in by Thanksgiving, but usually it was afterwards.
Yeah.
I know Francis used to fix Thanksgiving dinner.
You did too. You helped too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, when we'd shuck corn, George would go real early and start. And after I got the kids off to school, I'd walk to the field and I'd pick one run, he'd pick two. I'd get a hit one to go on with the ear of corn, but not too bad.
Dad always put Mom or I on the inside and he'd throw over our head into the wagon.
Yeah. And when you went to work, Grandpa wouldn't let you pay any bills with your paycheck. I remember you telling me that. He said he was going to pay the bills with his paycheck.
Yeah, what were you supposed to do with your money? When you went to work, what did Grandpa tell you to do with your money?
I could spend it for anything besides groceries. I couldn't buy groceries with it.
Because he wanted to
But
be
I
a
could buy a
provider.
gate for out the farm, or I could buy storm doors and windows for the house.
So what were some things you bought? Those things?
That's some of the things I bought.
Well, when she was taking her driver's test,
Huh?
when you was taking your driving test,
What about it?
you remember? You looked up and Dad was on every corner.
Yeah. He was watching me, and I didn't pass the first time. after I got down there, I told him, I said, now you get lost. I didn't want him watching me.
That's
But I passed the second time.
good.
I didn't have any trouble with the written part, but I never did drive in town, so I was cutting the corners a little too short.
I know a few others in this room that does that, but that's,
The one sitting next to you does that a lot.
she don't even have a license yet.
They're all pointing at each other.
Notice they're only your kids. Anyway. What about the club? What about the club that you always belong to? Your lady club. Talk about that. What was it called? It had a name.
Oh, it was an ABC Club.
And what did that stand for? Remember, you told me.
Atlantis Community Builders.
Okay. And what was that all about?
No, it's just a club.
Well, tell us about it. They don't know about clubs. They don't do like that.
Well,
How often would you meet?
I think it was once a month.
Whose house would you meet in?
Everyone, we took turns.
And what would you do at your meetings?
Oh, I don't know. We served a lot of farm sales.
Yes.
Made the food ourselves and took it and served it at farm sales. We done that.
Did that group quilt? Did that group quilt? That
No.
club?
No, she didn't
That's
start
in
quitting
the
until the
Community center, we did that.
Mom's the last of the quilting group.
From the
Yeah,
nutrition side.
Yeah, all the rest of the ladies have gone on, but
and David, I've had a card I've been wanting to show you sometime you come by.
Mm-hmm.
It was a sympathy card I got from my Sunday school class.
Oh, yeah. You told me.
There's not a one of them left. And the card was full of names, you know, they all signed. That used to be the biggest class at the Baptist church, our class. Every Sunday, they'd have to go get extra chairs, and they'd talk about having to get extra chairs for us.
Was Jean Adams in that class? Was she in that class?
Jean Adams.
played
I
the
mean,
piano.
she moved away, and she's about 90 or 91. She's still alive. And she may still be alive, and I think she was in that class, but she moved to Colorado
Yes,
several years ago.
I know, but I can't,
She may be a little younger.
I can't think. They had 2 women's classes, and they got a certain age, they're supposed to change, you know, call it graduate, I guess. But anyway, a lot of them would get old enough to come in our class, but they didn't want to let on like they're as old as we was, and they wouldn't come in.
This past Thursday, Charles Goodson and I went and visited. We visited Grandma, and they were talking, and they're the last 2 from that generation left from the Atlantis Baptist Church. See, the church closed down, but those are the last 2. Now, they're kids and nieces and nephews and things, but none of them. Petersons are gone.
Who's the other woman?
No, Charles Goodson. Remember, we were talking the other day. You
Yeah,
and
but
Charles.
I said-
You and Charles, the only ones left.
Oh, him.
Yeah, you and Charles. And all the Goodsons are gone, or the Petersons are gone, the McGinleys are gone, the Messengers are gone.
How old is Charles?
He turned 88 a couple weeks ago.
What was,
Yeah, they're
what
not,
was
none of
the
them
farm,
left.
Mabel, you said you cooked and carried groceries to the farm sale? To the farm, what kind of farm sale was it? I mean, what was on sale?
Oh, animals and the feed and it's whatever a farmer had.
When they were
He
selling
would
out.
Sell
They
out.
would bring it in to sell.
no, they would be selling out. The farmer would be putting
And they provide lunch for the group.
and they'd sell everything they had.
Okay,
They have kind of like a concession stand. We
well,
would
they
call
never
it.
did that in California.
Kind of like an auction,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they still do that around here.
estate sale.
Yeah. Tractors and all kinds of implements, and
Oh,
livestock
yes,
and
uh-huh.
everything.
I've seen movies where they do that.
Yeah.
Usually it's a couple retires.
We need to get some pictures, and then I think some people need to be. So who wants to be first?